Hey, everybody. It's Jody from Bird Dog Off-Road Adventures here.
Milton from Bareback Broncos.
And Derek and Monica from Bronco Adventures.
Somebody's been hitting the bottle tonight.
Right.
I'm just teasing you. All right, man. So we got a good show tonight, guys. We got Tom from Bronco Driver Magazine waiting here to join us here in just a moment. We're going to talk about Supercell Nevada, Derek and Monica. And y'all are still coming, correct? Or y'all not?
Yeah, we're not coming down. We had to cancel.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be there for sure. So, guys, if y'all happen to be there, make sure you come talk to me and say hi. We'll definitely try to get around and talk to people. But now for the big man on stage here, Mr. Thomas. How you doing, sir?
Fine, Jody. Fine, Milton. How you guys?
Doing good, Tom. Thank you.
I love the fact Jody's got his University of Tennessee hat on.
Yeah.
Being
Also,
an alumni, I find that very nice.
Yeah. I actually went to school there. I didn't graduate from there, but I did my a lot of my undergrad classes there. It's a pretty cool place. Yeah, family all still lives out there. So but awesome.
You're appreciative of the good sports that we've recreated here in the last few years. Makes it exciting.
Absolutely. Championship baseball, on fire right now in football. Basketball's been top notch. You know, time to be a Tennessee Vols.
Yep, fan. Good time.
Absolutely. So awesome. Now I don't know. I know Milton and I have been to some of your events. I don't know if Derek and Monica have. I know Milton and I have both been to Supercell, what used to be called Supercell East, but Supercell Tennessee. Definitely, I always loved when I know I've been there the last 2 years. How many years have you been down there now, Milton?
2.
2, yeah. Always a fun time. You guys put on a hell of a show. I think it's like every Bronco driver's wish list or bucket list to go there at least once. Hell, who knows? We might get Monica and Derek to drive that far one of these days. Come out there and see.
We want to.
And so we were in Colorado.
Yeah, we went to Supercell West
last year.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I remember Allie was supposed to come out there and meet y'all at one time, and then last year, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
I made it out this year, so
Nice.
you just missed it by a year.
I couldn't come to Nevada. She said she couldn't do it. So.
Yeah, I think she's got other commitments. Yeah, I know they're opening up an off rodeo here in Tennessee, and I think that's something that's going to be going on in the next few days. So I think a lot of people have to select their travel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully that'll be a good attraction next year for Supercell Tennessee.
Yeah, well, it's 6 miles down the road from where we hold the event, so it's close, and there's nothing more beautiful than East Tennessee, Smoky Mountains. I know if Milton and Jody, you've been to a few of our events, then you understand each one's a little bit different. Mm-hmm. Each Supercell, and if you came to Colorado, each Supercell has kind of a life of its own and different, atmospheres, different drives, different terrains. The people are all the same. They're great. They own a Bronco. So, but other than that, it is kind of a different environment at each of the facilities.
Now, I'm going to, just for the record, everybody that's not from East Tennessee, it's called Maryville, not Maryville. So just
Maryville.
Maryville. That's how the cows call it. And it's not Seaverville, it's Sevierville. So just some helpful tips. I want to help out our audience whenever they decide to come down there.
And if they come, they have to go to Pigeon Forge. And you know what the locals call Pigeon Forge? It's the redneck Disney World.
Yeah, definitely is.
But
awesome.
Tennessee's a lot of fun. That's every April. So we kind of kick off the spring with craziness with Broncos in Tennessee.
Yeah, and there's so much stuff to do there. I mean, Monica and Derek, if you guys ever go down there, your boys would just have a blast.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything you could think of, from golf carts, miniature golf, mountain coasters, bungee cord. I mean, zip lines, pretty much anything, arcades out the wazoo, anything you could think of. They would have way more stuff than they know what to do with. It's
in nice campgrounds too. There's campgrounds everywhere.
Nice.
And beautiful cabins. Yeah, if y'all go, let me know, because I know between me and Tom and Milton here, we could probably give you a few recommendations on the cabins there. Some of those chalets are extremely nice.
Okay. Yeah, it's on the list. We just don't know when.
Yeah, he really wants to take the early Bronco to that one, not the new one.
Oh,
so.
Yeah, but I want to drive it.
Yeah, we got to
So.
drive it out.
Mm-hmm.
Does that thing do pretty good on the long road trips?
The early Bronco?
Yeah.
I don't know because it's a pile of parts right now. So
Hey, a
You might
story.
get 6 or 8 miles to a gallon. You know,
yeah.
that's
Well, I do want to run a 35 on it, so it's not going to be very fuel efficient. So
Well, maybe you get somebody that let you borrow a trailer or something.
nah, because of Dave and Sandy, I refused a trailer unless the thing's got a hole in the motor and it can't run. That's my thought process.
We've had some adventurous drivers. I know you probably follow Jay Patterson, who drives that early Bronco all over the country.
Yeah, yeah. He's the one that it's uncut, correct?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Mhm.
He'll wheel it. He'll wheel it hard and then drive it home
Yeah, that's awesome.
with his little teardrop trailer. So that even adds to
Right.
the 3 miles to gallon.
Right. Yeah. Just to flex on people.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome. All right. Well, Tom, tell us about the Nevada Super. I know it's a fairly new one. You guys added it last year, if I'm not.
Yeah, we started Nevada last year, and Nevada is in Carson City. You know, people think of Nevada as Vegas, but this is up in the northern, right by Reno, right by Lake Tahoe, and I call it a combination of a Tennessee and a Colorado supercell, because what we have is you have some nice scenic drives, which is all road driving up to Virginia City, where you get the old western town where everybody's in the stores in character. And, that's a lot of fun. Or you can take one of the more adventure ways to Virginia City. We go up a trail called Jumbo Grade, and it takes you, the back way, the old logging roads, the rocks, and comes over into the city that way. So it kind of combines some of the rugged and fun, scenic, I call it like old treasures, old mines, some of those kind of drives like we have in Colorado, but also we have some of the more scenic rides like we do in Tennessee, up to the incline at Lake Tahoe. And it's a combination of both, which is really a lot of fun. In Carson City, capital, it's a small city, and they've been very receptive about bringing the Broncos out there. So it was really fun, and we're expecting it to be a even more fun this year with what we have planned. Also, the city, Jody, they do own the off-road park right there, 5 minutes from where we have the show. They own what's called Prison Hill Off-Road Park, and as part of our permits, they let us take groups out to the park in mild, moderate, and extreme conditions. And wild horses, Mitch and Jim, they handle and they take all the groups out there for a morning of fun, an afternoon of fun, and they group them in mild or moderate. And Mitch had a few of those extreme guys thinking they were on the Rubicon, I think, last year, had a few of those obstacles.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see what shape I'm in after the Rubicon, whether or not I'm just a show truck for the weekend, or actually I'll be able to partake. Because I know, I saw on there where you guys are having like wild horses and some other places going out.
Yeah.
So I definitely would like to get out there more, but now stuff's popping and cracking. We'll just have to wait and see.
And wild horses is like 3 hours from Carson City.
Oh,
so it's kind of their backyard. And I mean, with the population out there and all the 6Gs out there, it's going to become, I think, a really fun playground for the Broncos to come experience. A weekend of 3 or 4 days of fun at a super celebration.
Yeah.
What's ironic, and talking about driving your early Bronco, is right now we're still at 54% our early Bronco registrations and 46% are 6G. In Colorado, it was the first time we had more 6Gs than early Broncos in the 22 years we've been doing this. But I think you're going to see, as more of these 6G drivers get adventurous and take the Rubicon, like you're going to see them coming out and having a little more fun in some of these moderate and a little bit more off-roading adventures.
Absolutely. The aftermarket, I think, is only going to get better for those things. And and I think you're going to see a lot more people out there for sure. That's definitely going to be interesting to watch over the next few years.
Yeah, and the price of the early Broncos, people are more reluctant to, take them out to, more of a mild trail like Tennessee. They like a little bit of an adventure, a mild trail, but nothing that's going to, damage the value of their paint or their early Bronco.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But you got people like us three here that are really bad influences that cause people to spend more money than they should and break more shit than they should. So,
and all your sponsors and vendors are thanking you.
Oh man! So I mean, it's one of those things to where it's just like I think the Bronco communities, assuming Ford doesn't pull the plug on it for what unforeseen reason, I think it'll continue to grow. I think most of us started out as early Bronco fans. I had a 96 model, which is too much of an early one, but it was awesome. I loved it. It had a 351 Windsor. The only reason I got rid of it is because it was about 12 miles a gallon, and that was barely more than stock. And had to go back to school. Those University of Tennessee tuition payments weren't cheap.
A Bronco or an education? That's a tough decision right there.
I know, but think about it like this: though, once you get your education, hopefully you can afford more Broncos.
Yeah,
that's the game plan. And look at us now. Awesome. So, anything else that you can think of? I know. Well, the Rubicon, just so people know, was not far from there. What, about 3 hours, maybe?
Yeah, I don't even think it's that far. Well, depending on where you're starting and where you're going in, and I think there's a group of 12 or 14 of you guys going down there to do the Rubicon before you venture over. I mean, that's a lot of people's bucket list right there, doing the Rubicon.
Absolutely. And this year's probably not as crowded either, because I looked at the weather report. I think it's supposed to be in the low 70s.
Yeah, that's generally what it is this time of year. And the reason we chose this time of year out there in Carson City is because they do have the extreme winter. And they do have the extreme summer. So like Colorado, you have about a 90-day window of opportunity. And as soon as we leave the Mills Park, the hockey team comes in and freezes their hockey rink in the pavilion. So, the city is kind of like this after the farmer's market and before the hockey season.
Yeah.
And it's generally, low 70s. Cooler at night, so you better bring you some warm clothes for the evenings.
Oh, I got my buddy heater packed. I used it. We were actually up in Sedona 2 weekends ago as a trial. First time I've been camping in a while, and I got one of those Gazelle T4 tents, and I got a buddy heater, and I had to vent the tent because it was like in the 40s degrees then. I had to actually pull some of the vents down because it just got too hot in there, and that was on the lowest setting too. So hopefully it'll be all right.
Yeah. Well, what are you in Phoenix? You say, or some? What kind of weather you're having today? It looked like it was like 113 degrees out there.
Yeah, we're breaking records every day now. This is the hottest it's been this late in the year, is what I've been hearing from everybody. I was like, with my luck, I moved down here, and I lived in Dallas for 9 years, so I'm not a stranger to the heat. But but this is ridiculous. They broke the record for consecutive days over 110. They broke the records like almost every day in this entire week. We had a break a couple of weeks ago where it got down in the 90s for the high. Which 90s here feels like 80s, 70s there because of the humidity. There's no humidity here at all.
But that's not good weather to wheel in.
No, that's why we've been kind of keeping it kind of low key for now. But the thing is, the good thing about down here though is that you're only about 2.5 hours, 3 hours away from the good trails in the summer, and we're in colder temps. And then in the winter, down here in the desert, it's just beautiful. It's like 70s every day for a majority of the year. It's just if you can get through the summer months, the winter is really nice. A hell of a lot different from Chicago.
Yeah. How long were you in Chicago?
About 7.5 years, and it got cold as hell. I remember one time.
Where's Milton?
I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. So
you're not far.
I do winter camp quite a bit. I've been in negative 18, 27. I've been in some blizzards, solo camping. Typically, we'll camp on top of the Bronco. It's a good time. I really enjoy driving around and finding good camping spots and just, sitting out there listening to the quiet and being alone.
Yeah, in
It's nice.
Cincinnati, you're pretty centrally located to get to pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, I can go to Missouri, or we go wheel Daniel Boone a lot, and we can go to Tennessee fairly quickly, and then North Carolina or South Carolina is where I go, or West Virginia.
Yeah, so you got them all.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Yeah, that's. I mean, the Windrock's not far, from you guys too. If you want to.
Yeah, it's like 5.5 hours, I think.
Yeah, Windrock is still one of the nice off-road parks where you can
Mm-hmm.
you can run out of gas and get lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Bill, you are a University of Kentucky fan, are you?
Kentucky? No. I'm a Texas Longhorns. My family was my mom's family's from there, and I root for the Longhorns. We've had some rough seasons, but we're coming around in SEC, and we'll probably play you some point in a championship game, maybe. Who knows?
Well, just remember who the real UT is.
Oh yeah, Texas.
Little Jason used to say the real UT. Awesome. So Derek and Monica, what you guys been up to lately?
Oh, just going wild on tearing a 6-gen Bronco apart.
Yeah.
If you have any questions on disassembly, I'd probably have the answer.
Now, is this intentional or unintentional disassembly?
Yeah, intentional. So we're getting the Bronco ready for SEMA next month. We'll be in the Armadillo Designs booth for their new hardtop. We're going to have the square back top.
Yeah, the Armadillo, they were he was out at the Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They had a few of their vehicles out there from Texas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so we're pretty excited. We've been trying to put on the Fun Haver body kit, and boy, what a chore. I'm about 22 hours in just fitment right now, and it's still not to my liking. So literally all evening I was at a body shop trying to make a plan on how to figure out how to add more material, and fiberglass is so inconsistent that, man, the body gaps just don't line up. And I know I'm going to use the Bronco when we're done, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want it to be better than what I've accomplished so far.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's on the 4-door. I want a body kit so bad, but like it looks way better on a 2-door, just because the way that like the back pieces, like when you open the door, you just have like this huge bulge of fiberglass just sitting there. But I've seen so much body work, and when you said 22 hours, I was like, sounds about right.
Yeah.
And you haven't even got it covering the gel coat yet and all the pen holes and everything else. You're just putting it on the Bronco.
Didn't Gentry have some issues putting his on too? I mean, I don't think he had I shouldn't say issues, but I thought I remember him saying it was kind of hard to get on there.
We watched his video, and he did the fenders, and those lined up pretty well. And then he got to the door pieces and kind of just dropped it off in the YouTube video, which now I see why.
There again, if I knew what I was doing, that would help. I have no clue, so we're just flying by the seat of our pants.
Allie said, how was it drilling holes into your Bronco?
Well, so I've done it twice.
Yeah.
Well, 3 times. There's 2 doors that you have to drill holes into, and one of them got drilled multiple times. So I went and bought some white silicone just to fill the holes. Maybe it'll be sealed up. I don't know.
Keep that Blanco thing going, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, the body kit has to be there now to cover up holes.
Yeah.
So are you going to have a video with the bloopers running at SEMA?
We should.
We should.
I mean, that would be a unique selling.
The problem is we'd have to censor a lot of the swearing. You're
a
drilling
lot
holes in a $65,000 vehicle, and it takes your nerves and puts them up here. So
especially if you drill them wrong, you might have. You'll have to have the beat button ready.
Well, it'd
be easier.
Measure twice or something like that, and be measure 8 times and drill once.
Man, and I thought I was right, and nope, I was wrong. But there again, I mean, to pay a body shop to do it, you'd be out so much money. And there again, I understand the reason why people take it to a body shop. It makes sense, but there again, I like to do stuff myself,
Exactly. I like the McNeil one is the one I'm looking at, the McNeil Racing one. And for the 4-door, it's actually the fourth door is actually a whole skin. So like it overlays the whole door. So when you open it up, it doesn't look like you just slapped the rear fender on it.
That's cool.
I talked to the guy, he seemed really nice, but I would love to know, like when you go to SEMA, if you see it there, try to take a picture.
Yeah.
I'll put it here in the chat so you could see it, but it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
We cover SEMA pretty good, so if it's there, I'm sure myself or one of my other guys that cover SEMA will come across it.
Yeah, McNeil Racing, so they have a pretty cool looking kit. It won't let me post a link in here for some reason.
Yeah, and the body kit itself, I love the way it looks. Like when it's done, I know we're gonna be super pleased, but it's just that fiberglass is so inconsistent. If it gets pulled off the mold just a little too early and it wasn't cured, things start to move. And one of the panels, I ended up having to cut a little over half of an inch out of it and try to rework the fiberglass together just to try to get it on the door square. And that's really the hard part. I think like you're saying, if you're dealing with a 2-door, not having to mount anything to those doors makes it so much easier. But
it's
with
the doors that build it.
Yeah, everything else went pretty smooth. Fenders and quarters, I probably got those on in maybe
a couple days.
And still probably 10 to 15 hours, just taking our time, But yeah, the doors are what have killed it. The passenger side actually went a lot smoother than the driver's side. So
they were at the last show, but they didn't have the body kits there. They just had the 2-door there with the body kit, the racing one. But I mean, just that 4-door looks so challenging. To put those door pieces on look insane.
The biggest thing that I keep thinking is, man, we don't have much time. Like I still need to get these things painted and, still doing all of the skid plates and suspension and
we still got a month left.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying.
I'll just be working on it in the trailer while we're going down. So
and you'll be like everybody else there.
So you're actually going to paint it? You're not just wrapping it?
Yeah, I do want to paint it. So
and you're going back to factory white or like a pearl?
Yep, keep it just Oxford white. One thing that we've done, and we're going to have videos on all this stuff, but we actually tore the whole dash out of the thing, and the Heritage, has the white dash, but it just looks a little too, chalky without it being gloss white. So we actually body matched the dash, and it looks sharp.
That's cool.
Cool.
I love it. And,
that's awesome.
I know in the sun, we're going to probably catch a hell of a glare at some point, but I'll just keep wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
So, it looks
I
cool.
can't wait to see it. It sounds awesome.
Slow but sure, we're picking away at it. It's just a lot of late nights. Get off work and go out and keep turning on that thing. So,
I've been told some of the other kids out there are hard too. I know when I talked to the guy at JCR Off-Road one year, he said that the AVD ones are hard as well.
Yeah.
It's probably anything fiberglass you're trying to throw on a Bronco.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been the nicest to my Bronco, so it's not really square anymore. So that's the other thing.
A little loose.
Yep, exactly. So.
Well, next thing you know, they'll be making whole fiberglass tubs like they do the early Broncos.
Yeah, exactly.
You won't have to put the kits on. You just put the whole body back on.
Right. Yeah, just put your interior in it. So, and that's the other hard part is I've got my 2 early Broncos buried in 6th gen parts, and I'm like, that's not right, So, but
you're just that could be disrespecting elders.
Exactly. Yeah.
Elder abuse.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully, as soon as November passes, I want to get back on that. That's one of my goals. So, but hopefully soon.
Well, as long as you have one of them at UBB, we'll be happy.
That's a new Bronco.
The 6th gen will be there. So
the old one's gonna be a pavement princess.
Yeah, a little. I want to take it on mild trails. I don't want to do crazy stuff, but there again, I want to enjoy it, you know.
Yeah.
So there again, it'll probably snowball, and we'll build a full-fledged crawler here shortly.
You know.
So
Yeah, but that way you keep the early Broncos nice, you know.
exactly, yeah.
You know,
It's like shoes. You have to have multiple pair for different reasons, you know.
Well, I
Yeah.
know it's, and they're like Doritos; they don't make anymore.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're just going wild over here. So,
Do y'all have the top yet, or is that still to come?
not yet. We've been doing a few little design changes. We text Fabian probably way too often. We're like, hey, what about this or what about that? And, you know, they get a few steps forward and we kick them a few back just to
Yeah.
see if we can do something different. So,
Awesome.
but
How many Broncos is he going to have in his booth? Do you know?
It's gonna be
Two.
us and then Walter over at Counts Customs.
Yeah, his wife's or is it? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the pretty gold.
he's done
one.
some cool stuff to that
That's
thing.
neat.
So,
Yeah,
Will
I
be
saw a
with
little bit of it. Is he having something on Wednesday, like a
Yes.
kick party or something? I got an
Mhm.
invite to.
yeah, they're doing
Yeah,
an
let me look it
unveiling
up.
of it. So, there's some brand new stuff on that rig that will be seen for the first time there. So, the way I'm kind of viewing it is you're going to have the two Broncos sitting there. You're going to have the Beauty, and then you're going to have my pile right next to it.
I thought you were
So,
calling.
read in between the lines, you know.
I thought you were going to be Beauty and he was going to be the Beast.
I'd like to call mine the Beast, but I think it's just going to be, you know, a pile.
Lightly
So,
used.
Yeah. Don't look too close, you know. If you get bored, bring a rag. You can help us wipe off some of the mud that'll still be on it.
So new suspension, new fenders. Any plans for bigger tires for that thing?
Yep.
Mhm.
Finally upgrading to a 37. So
Oh,
we got Mickey Thompson, Baja bosses going
Yeah,
on there.
Metrans.
And then it will be on a race line beadlock, monster beadlock.
Monster
Will.
beadlocks, yeah.
So
And then we got the cat skin interiors in. It looks really nice. Super
Yeah.
happy about that.
I've been hearing a lot of good things about those Mickey Thompsons. You know.
Yeah. Yep. They jumped right on board when they found out what we were doing. And so we're super excited to be sponsored by that. So
The 37s are huge when I'm really used to a 35.
Yeah.
I accidentally delivered to my neighbor and I was pulling up in his driveway and I was like, whoa, like we're building a monster truck. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Especially when you put one on the tailgate and you're lifting that thing up there. It's
Right.
like breaking your back.
yeah.
Get
Yeah.
up
We
there.
did get 5 of them, but we're going to delete the spare for short term. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So, like I say,
You
I think
You have
one
to
of
get
my
baby
videos-
and like mounted on the rear upper hatch.
right.
Be like all electronic, you know, tell them you want electronic.
Yeah.
They'll probably shoot you.
Yeah.
Like one of those lifts that like people use to get out of a wheelchair or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or well,
So-
Go along the stairway. You know, I don't know what they call those. You know,
Yeah.
just go up the side of the hard top.
So,
Well, it sounds like you're going to have nice rig when it's finished. I'm excited to see it.
yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited to get it done.
Yeah.
So it's not a huge project, but like I say,
Daunting right now.
the interior and body, that was the two biggest things, but the interior went smooth, you know, gutted the whole thing and put new Armor Light flooring in it. So it's washout flooring instead of the carpet now, which is an awesome upgrade. And then the cat skins interior went in, no problem.
Yeah, it was pretty
Things
easy.
went back together. So, but this body kit, yeah, it's definitely a job. So,
How long are you going to be? How guys going to be at Steamer? Y'all going to be there through Friday, or y'all heading out before then?
yeah, we'll be there the whole time.
They won't let him out until Friday.
Right. Yeah, the Bronco will be there the
Yeah.
whole time for certain, but yeah, we'll be there too.
The reason I ask is because I know Friday they have the public day. I thought about drive. It's only about a 4-hour drive from here, so I thought about driving up and staying overnight Friday night or Thursday night and doing SEMA that Friday. But
Yeah.
Yeah. that'd
Yeah,
be
we'll
awesome.
definitely be there. I think we're there.
And then you can see the Eagles at the Sphere on Saturday.
there you go.
So, yeah, we're super excited.
Come out.
Absolutely. And Tom, did you say you're going out there?
Yeah, we generally go to SEMA, and I know Todd, one of our riders, he usually comes up and covers it, and then I'll have my content creator. He'll be out there this year too. So it seems like in the last 5 years, SEMA has gone from a handful of Broncos to nothing but Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I would
10
expect
years,
Toyota.
10 years ago, we'd be lucky to see 3 or 4 get excited. Now, you know, 300 or 400.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if this year doesn't have a big Toyota showing with all the new things they got with the Land Cruiser and the Tacoma and the new 4Runner coming out.
Yeah. There's always a good mix of, you know, the marks. But it seems like, you know, Ford's been stepping up lately and promoting a lot more. I know one year they took a year off from SEMA right after, you know, COVID. But, you know, they're proud, and they got some new trim packages coming out. So I think, you know, exciting aftermarket products like you are putting on. It's just the whole 6G aftermarket's exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and our Bronco, and we've basically kept it stock this whole time. Done a few little things, but nothing crazy. But now that it's totally out of warranty, well, might as well go a little bit crazier. So
yeah, but I mean, with you know, Milton, with all the tents and the camping and the overlanding and the, you know, the Bronco's become its own G-Wagon.
Yeah, we just got another tent sponsor, so we're going to be doing a video at the end of the week when I get back from North Carolina, and I'll probably put my old tent on my friend's Porsche, and then we're going to put my new tent on the Bronco, so we'll be shooting some content on that.
Where in North Carolina are you going to attempt?
We're going to go down to Charlotte to Eurowise. It's a he's got a 2014 958 Porsche Cayenne with the V8, and it's got front locker, center locker, and rear locker. And some old man ordered it in Florida, and one owner took immaculate care of it, sold it, and my friend bought it and then shipped it to North Carolina. And it's been sitting over there for a year, and they built all brand new suspension for it, all of the aftermarket stuff, because they weren't doing 958s yet. So they used his as a beta tester, and gave him really smoking deal. And now it's done. So we're going to go get it out of North Carolina and drive it home on Friday. So we're going to leave Thursday night, pick it up Friday, and then come back home. It's about 8-hour drive.
Yeah. Like Cincinnati's pretty centrally located. You can get anywhere in 8 hours, can't you?
Yeah. We have the greatest highway in the United States, 71 and 75. You can go just about anywhere.
Go to Florida or Michigan. Take your pick.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. We were talking backstage earlier, Tom, and I was asking you if they were having to take any detours, because I know like some of the interstates down there got washed out this past week. But.
Yeah, I-40 from Asheville was the one that got hit the hardest. The mountains scared Knoxville here. But, I mean, the interstate's washed out between Knoxville and Asheville.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy how the water came in around the side of the mountain and just sat over there. Sad, some of the communities that got wiped out.
Even I heard they're using Townsend, where the Bronco event is, the center to drop off water and donations, and so if anybody wants to do that, Townsend's a hub for that.
Yeah, awesome. And just down the road, Newport, you know, they got pretty much wiped out, which is just north of Gatlinburg.
Yeah,
right,
we had 50-mile-an-hour winds up here. We were still feeling it, and some of the Cincinnati people got their power knocked out for almost, I think, 2 days.
Yeah, you know, it was just one of those storms of the century, I guess. And,
was the problem it just moved slow and just sit there, or was that kind of what?
Well, it just had a lot of water in the Smoky Mountains and the Appalachian. You know, if it gets it protected Knoxville, it split it and went to Nashville and Asheville. Yeah. You know, it rode up the side of those mountains, and once it sets in, you know, like Townsend, when we're doing the supercell, if it comes over the bowl and sets in, you can have a rainy day. Yeah. And it won't get out of there. It's a rainy day.
Yeah, last weekend, or the last supercell, it pretty much was wet every day. I was in a, luckily my rooftop tent did not leak, but it was wet. Everything was soggy.
Between that and the bears, it's an adventure.
Yeah, I remember because my mother lives in Morristown, and I stayed with her, and I'd drive from there over to the Supercell every day when I was this last time. And I remember it was sunny and pretty up there, but of course, it was raining a few times down in Townsend.
Yeah. Yeah, this year I think we were more fortunate. We waited till, I think the rain held off till Saturday. I know a year ago, we had that big Friday night storm. I had to get a dumpster just to put all the broken tents in.
Oh, I know. Yeah, we lost ours, and we had the weights. We lowered it down pretty much as far as you could go without folding it, and squeezed it in like the accordion, so that way we'd hope the wind would catch it. And plus, we had those weights you buy off Amazon. Those they're like 10 pounds, and they had like 2 on each leg. Still tossed it. It's like shit.
Yeah, and that's nothing compared to some of the winds that can come through Colorado. If you've been to, you can set your clock at 3:00 when it comes over those 14s down that valley. It's like it's a good little rush. Better make sure your tents and your papers are stacked down. And like we were talking supercells, each one's different. In Wisconsin, it's generally calm. It's all water park, all water fun.
Yeah.
The others are a little bit more. They can be a little bit more trying with the the elevation.
Oh yeah, it was a funny story about Wisconsin. I think it was year 4 last, and the Chicagoland group. We did one of the guided runs, and the girl that was leading it, she's in a 6th gen, and we had a bunch of older Broncos in there, and she was hitting the interstate doing 77. I had to try to message her. I was like, "You guys slow down. These guys are going to overheat."
You're not supposed to be on the interstate on the Bronco Drive.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell she got on there, but
well, it's kind of. I know where it was because it's kind of confusing at one of the. If you're not used to the roundabouts, sometimes you go roundabout and get someplace direction you're not supposed to be going.
Yeah, we told her her lead duties were revoked.
You're fired. Your club member. That's not very good.
Yeah. Well, she just was the thing, and she's very young, and she didn't grow up around older cars, so it's kind of one of those things to where it's like, you got to think they're talking about 3-speed transmissions with, they're not, and they're for them to do like 75 mile an hour, they're going to be revving pretty high.
Well, one of the fun drives in Wisconsin, I don't know if you got to take the one where you took the ferry.
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't get a chance.
It's one of the free ferries, so the Broncos all come. I think last year it took 3 ferries because it holds like 20. So it's a pretty good little picture where all of them are on a ferry coming across the water.
Yeah. Man, that's one thing I regret about not doing when I was living in the Midwest is going to Drummond Island and taking the ferry over to it, and because I know that place is supposed to be a really good wheeling spot.
Yeah, or going up to Mackinac and going up and seeing all the haunted motels. And
it'd be a good trip for you, Milton.
Yeah, I want to possibly do that one. It wouldn't be too bad, but next year I plan to get more out west and go to Colorado and maybe try to do that Moab trip. I had some friends that just got back from Imogene Pass. They're from Cleveland, Ohio. And, they, that's 4 hours on top of just to get out of the state and then, across. They're a Toyota group. I think there's 1 or 2 Broncos have joined, but I'll probably hook up with them next year and then take a ride out there and then maybe see if you guys want to go and meet up with y'all. But
I think we need to do a Dirt Live Therapy live stream Supercell Colorado next year.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun to meet up out there.
Yeah.
Jody, you're going to do a live stream from Nevada, aren't you?
Well, I can do. I'll probably do it on my personal channel, but depends on what the cell coverage is like out there. I know the Rubicon doesn't have anything, but I don't know about Carson City. I assume it does.
Yeah, Carson City. You're right in the heart of the town. You'll have access there. You can do a Saturday afternoon live stream and interview all the guys coming off the Rubicon.
Absolutely.
Because hopefully they'll be there Thursday, not Saturday.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll be there Thursday and not Saturday. I don't want to jinx myself.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys get to your regular show. I appreciate you having me on and chit-chatting Broncos. I'm excited to see the kit and the Amarillo top there in SEMA.
We'll be there.
Sounds good.
So we'll look forward to meeting you.
And I'm going to look for Milton down here in the Smokies.
Yep, I'll be there. I'll look for you. We had a great time last year. I actually won like 2 raffles, and a little boy, I put my ticket in the there was a Bronco toy bin, and we had some model cars, and then we met a couple people that pitched in some model cars that they had. So we had a great time. It was kind of like a fun mud fest. So it was just fun seeing everybody playing and getting rowdy and having fun.
When people ask me to explain a Bronco Super Celebration, I say, have you ever been to the Blue Man Group? And I said, you go to Blue Man Group, you have the best time. And people go, well, what was it about? Well, I don't know. These guys had blue faces. And that's kind of like, well, I don't know. You did all these things with your Bronco. It's like.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. I just about bit it in my chair.
Yeah, I heard the saw it pop there. Well, guys, Tom, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Guys, be watching. If you haven't been to a Super Cell, what the hell are you waiting on, man? It's a good time. Pick one: Tennessee, Colorado, Wisconsin.
Yeah, and Friday night in Wisconsin, we rent the water park just for the Bronco people, so that's a lot of fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I've been to that one. It's real fun as well. So, guys, if you all haven't been to one, make plans to. Tom, thank you so much, buddy.
Okay, take care, Jody.
Yeah. Bye, Tom.
Awesome. So, hey, so what happened there, Milton? I saw your chair bounce back.
So I have a Secret Labs chair and a nervous tick. I'm messing with the lever, and I pulled it a little too hard. I e-checked it, and it was like.
Now, see, this is a typical YouTuber response, but I was kind of hoping you would top over so that way we would get good views on this.
Well, I pushed the brake back. I pushed the brake back down. I was like in a panic there for a second. I was like, I wasn't ready for it. Like shoved the e-brake back down.
That's too funny. Awesome, man. But no, seriously, if you come out west next year, give me a shout, dude. I mean, of course, it depends on when and where you go, but I'd love to get you out here and have some fun. I know Arizona is a little bit of a hike for most people, but I could meet you in Colorado or Utah or hell, come out to San Paulo. You'll probably see there.
Or Big Bend National Park in Texas has been on my bucket list. With the Big Bend Bronco, I'd love to go out there and get some pictures of the Bronco and and go out and meet Derek and them. That would be fun. I mean, I got a budget a little bit for it, but it would be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you can go to Sand Hollow almost any week, and you'll probably see them there. So.
Long.
Yeah, we haven't been in a while.
It's been months.
Yeah.
We're having withdrawals.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah. Everybody's at Trail Hero this week, and
yeah,
about it.
I forgot about that this week. A bunch of the Arizona guys are there. That's only like a 3 or 4 hour drive from here, so it's not far at all.
Sand Hollow?
Yeah.
Or like 5, so kind of a middle point.
Not at all. It's just pretty much you go across the border, and it's from Arizona into Utah, and I think it's pretty close to the Arizona border.
Dang.
I don't even be that far, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it just all depends because I've been on Facebook Market and Craigslist a lot lately. I know everybody loves the first and second gens, but I'm a 4th gen through and through, so I'm looking to build one of those. I'm pretty much almost done with my 6th gen. It's just kind of fun to have the 6th gen, but I really want to start building the 4th gen with my Coyote or the 7.3 motor, and then make that into a daily driver, and then get ready to do a little bit more with the Bronco, the 6th gen, as a more trail truck.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest with you, your truck's pretty set. You've done a lot of good stuff to it. It looks nice.
Yeah.
About as capable as you could hope to get it without dumping without tearing it.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where it's going to get ridiculous money, like the axles, like you've done, and 4-link, and
Oh, speaking of 4-link, have you all seen the new Fouts panhard bar they got for the Ranger Raptor? It's like I don't know if they're going to make it for the Bronco, but it's like the panhard bar goes across like that, and there's like a piece that goes between both bars. And it,
they call it a Watts link.
Yeah. So I don't know much about that, but it looks like it could be interesting. You know anything about stuff like that, Derek, or what it's supposed to do?
Who makes it?
Fouts Motorsports.
I mean, where I've seen it the most is typically on like autocross type stuff. Okay. But basically, I mean, it's just like a track bar, panhard bar, but it's on a pivot. So that way, left to right, you can gain a little bit of motion there. But in their application, I would think it'd be more for like high speed desert type stuff. I would think. So,
so it wouldn't be probably more for like articulation if you were crawling.
I doubt it, but I don't. I seen the picture on Instagram, but I didn't read on it.
Yeah, I just saw this. I don't think they put much about it on there. I don't even know if it's on their website or not. I just remember seeing the Instagram post, and I was like, I wonder if that's because I kind of like anytime I see something like that, I'm like, okay, what does it do, and can I afford it?
Right. Yeah.
You're always getting something new drive shaft.
I know, man. It's like you got to pay the piper at some point,
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. But you know what? One lesson I've learned here recently is you can spend money on all that shit. You can still break stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for certain. Yeah.
Are you building 2 first gens, Derek, or is one a donor?
Well, so that's how it started. I picked it up as a parts rig.
It was supposed to be.
It's just too nice. Like,
yeah,
the things that were wrong with it were pretty minimal. And so I decided, well, as much as I want to keep it, I'm going to take and fix all the stuff that's wrong with the chassis. Somebody cut off the radius arm mounts. The body mounts are all eaten out, so I'm going to weld in the new replacements for those. Then I'm going to powder coat the frame, the axles, rebuild those, and then I'm going to get the body to where all the rust is out of it, and then probably just sell it at that point. Mm-hmm. So that way it's a pretty decent roller. The frame and the chassis work's done, but then the body would be, needing some metal and body work there. But yeah, it's really not bad. And so that's where I was like, well, I can't part it out now. So,
yeah.
But, yeah.
So you got two models, right?
Yeah. Yeah. A 68 and a 69. Okay. So.
Jody, you said you wanted to buy a 69, didn't you?
No. I waste too much money on the one I currently got.
Sounds like there's going to be a really nice roller available here soon. Is that the 68 or the 69?
I don't know. The more that I drag my feet a little bit on it, though, I'm like, well, maybe we'll just keep it. Like,
yeah.
I can afford it make a crawler.
His and hers.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't want an early Bronco. She wants her Bronco 2 put together. So,
well, yeah, Bronco 2s are cool. Those are really coming up in value too. I've been looking at those because there's some cool pre-runner ones, and there's some cool 289 builds out there with little 289s and wishbone suspensions and stuff on them. They're pretty cool, but I mean, you could be 30-40 grand in one of those like pretty quick.
Easy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, they're 12 and 15 grand just to get a solid body one, that's running.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my first car. That was my high school rig.
No,
cool.
I didn't drive it.
Yeah. And you still have it?
Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome.
So, and then I picked it up another one because it was a good deal.
So now there's 2 Bronco 2s out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you get like a 2-wheel drive one and a 4-wheel drive one, or are they both 4-wheel drive?
Both 4-wheel drive.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would like to get a Bronco 2 and make it really easy and make it a 2-wheel drive with the Ranger parts, because the 2-wheel drive Ranger, they use the same chassis. And so you could convert it over to be 2-wheel drive and you could slam that thing. And I think it'd be cool. So,
yeah, slam it, tub it down. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. And put a Coyote in it or something. There'd be people that would hate it, but then there are people that would love it. And I'd love it.
I would actually put the Explorer ST chassis on it. Like, just see we can find like a wrecked ST Explorer and maybe convert it over,
No,
have a 3.0 in it, be
that'd be awesome.
pretty cool.
As long as you don't put a damn Chevrolet motor in it.
Right. But then you'd have a Cyclone. Wasn't it the Blazer one was the Cyclone?
Oh yeah,
Or a Typhoon. The
Typhoon,
Typhoon.
yeah.
That's right.
yeah.
But cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Gareth, I hate that we won't get to see you this weekend, next week, but I'm sure we'll see. Hopefully, I might be able to sneak up there and see you at SEMA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
please
awesome.
do. Should be fun.
So,
I'm pretty sure I'll see you at United by Bronco. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's
hope to see you too soon, buddy.
Yeah. I'd love to meet back up with you and get out on the trail. I mean, Supercell was hectic. You were kind of running around a lot. I mean, I only got to spend like a half day with you, but next year we'll have some plans to get out that way. And
That's the thing about Supercell, Tennessee is it's so big.
It's
Yeah.
huge.
So you could spend the whole day just walking around because it's just so big. And I know the other Supercells. I don't know about Colorado because I've never been to that one. But from what I've been told about Nevada, it's kind of like Wisconsin. It's really new. This is only, I think, the second year they've done it. So they're growing. And as more Broncos get produced, obviously I think they'll grow a lot more. But being that close to California, I would imagine that one's going to take off at some point. Being out there, given the location. So, yeah, definitely something worth considering. Even if you don't want to do the Rubicon, it's still probably the one I'm most excited for is the Colorado one next year. That'd be a good one to come to if you can make it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely. I hope I'm bringing a 4th gen to the next one.
That'd be awesome.
Might not have a great body on it, but I don't have a great body, so.
That's awesome.
All right, well, guys, y'all have anything else you want to talk about or bring up?
Oh, so I got my recall today for the valves, and my VIN number did pop. So I called Ford. They have no idea what they're going to fix. They don't know how they're going to inspect it yet. They told me I had to wait till the first quarter of 2025 to have the valve stems checked. So we're going to wait. But mine is on the list.
So if it's on the list, does that mean that they actually do something? I thought they were just testing them.
So they said that when the parts come available, they physically have to open the motor to see if they're stuck or if they're cracked.
Oh, when was yours
They're
built?
pretty much what I understand is they're pretty much gonna fix them.
Yeah. What year? When was yours built?
So it's the recall is from May 1st through October 1st for 2021. Mine was built June 1st.
Okay. Well, I won't be in it then. I didn't know because I knew it was 2021s, but sorry.
Yeah.
No, I said we're safe. I just got on the Ford app to check, but we're at 22, so we're good.
Yeah. So if you open your door in the top left-hand corner, there's a small little build date. If you're May 1st through October of 2021, you're going to be on there.
Yeah,
I think they said it was like somewhere around like 10,000 Broncos or something.
Oh, that's not too bad. Well, there's only I think about 40,000 sold the first year because it's really a year or something like that. They didn't have a full year production because of
and I got mine delivered July 2nd of 2021. So like once I got my build date, it was like really quick. I mean, I had just bought a Mustang and I think I had that like a couple of months and then turned around and sold that and brought the Bronco home. And I think I actually contacted Derek. I think we were chatting on Instagram first. I was like, hey, I got my Bronco. And I think yours wasn't too far behind.
So ours was 22.
Yeah, July of 22.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was the last week of 2021. It was like the week, like 2 weeks before Christmas, I think. The week that mine was built, like the first 2 or 3 days were 2021s, and then after that they were 2022s. Because mine wasn't delivered until January 4th of 2022, so it was already old when I bought it.
Yeah, so, and still brand new.
Yeah.
I just hope it lasts. Like feel like I have so much money in mine right now. Like I just hope it lasts. Like it's at 65,000 miles right now. I mean, I've never had a vehicle with 65,000 miles on it, but I just hope it lasts.
Man.
Yeah, I feel a little nervous too with the turbos. You know, if it was like an aspirated V8, I'd probably feel more secure in it. But you know, mine's got about 53,000 miles on it now. So yeah, I feel you on that one. But I told Evan, I was like, hell, worst case scenario, through 2 or 3 years down the road, they blow. We'll just stuff a 7.3. You know, hopefully by then they'll have all the electronic gremlins out of them. But yeah,
Yeah, but I heard the guy who's doing that conversion. What was it? I think he or someone quoted it was like $45,000 he's got in that conversion right now. I mean, no thanks.
Yeah.
I'd rather take 45,000 and buy a first gen that already has a 5.0 Coyote in it, like what they were selling at Supercell.
yeah.
At least you get a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you know,
I'm
my
sure
friend Ashley,
2.7 is not going to be cheap either.
you know, it's a good motor. I like it. I mean, I don't have any problems, and I'm almost curious. I'm almost tempted not to let them do anything. Like it's not showing any signs. I would figure with the mileage that I have on it now, it would have shown its face. I would think.
Would have done something, yeah. But the thing is, make sure that whatever dealership does it is one that you trust and one that has a good reputation, because that would be the thing I would be more nervous about, because you never know what you're going to get.
I would take it to Lebanon Ford Performance, where I used to work, and they put the superchargers on them, and I know the techs, I know the owner. I could walk back there and they would probably let me work on it with them. But I'm just nervous about it. To be honest, it's like, you know, there's nothing wrong with it now, but you know, when do the valves break? What causes it?
Right.
Well, I thought, now keep in mind, I know this issue has been old and it's been beat to death. But I remember, it's been a while since I've kept up on this stuff, but I remember there for a while, most of the failures that I read about in the forums, I thought they were like in the first 10 to 15,000 miles.
Yeah, I mean, I thought so too, but what's weird is the truck is almost 3 years old now, so they got to figure most of these are going to have 30 to 60,000 miles on them, I would think. So if you're going to do a national recall, it must be pretty bad, where it's causing catastrophic failure in the motor. And you know, in the app it says that it could cause the whole vehicle to seize up.
So they're just replacing the valves. They're not like rebuilding the motor or anything like that, right?
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, if you're going to open the motor, should I do the timing chain at that point? Because are draining all the fluids, and you're going to be putting new valves in it, and if they're not doing it until the first quarter of March, I'm probably going to have 70 some thousand miles on it by then. I mean, it's a daily driver wheeler, and I take it across the east. So I'm a little bit nervous. I'm going to talk to a couple of people, and because if I don't do the inspection in a certain amount of time of when that's available, that can lapse, and then if something does happen, I'm paying for it out of pocket.
Yeah.
So,
well, worst case scenario, they have to rebuild the motor, and you get a whole free motor to start over with.
Yeah,
I know that's not going to happen, but
they're going to be like, oh, these CVF intakes, they're in the way, and you got this bumper, and we can't do it because we have to undo your winch and all these electronics. Like, I just know how the dealers can be because I've worked in them. You know what I mean? Like, if they don't want to do it, they're going to throw every excuse to.
The reason your valve cracked is because you put a different lug nut on it. You know?
Yeah. You didn't use the Acorn lug nut. You had the lug nut on. Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick story. Before I left Illinois, and the dealership's a nice dealership. They're very involved with the Chicagoland group, and actually they did me right by a lot of things. But I was having some ACC issues, you know, and to take that JCR bumper off just to look at it, they were wanting to charge me like $750. I'm like, guys, I'll take it off myself and look at it.
Yeah, crazy.
and turn out the wiring was just a little off. You move it a little bit and it works fine. And I just bought a brand new wiring harness for like $60.
Yeah.
So next time I take my bumper off, I'm just going to change out the wire. I had to do it for the back bumper too, because I guess it's just over time they wear out. But
Well, it sounds like you work with a good dealer too, Derek. You had some front end issues, and they pretty much
So I actually took it out of state to do it. My local dealer, they didn't want to work with me because I wanted to pull the differential out myself so we could go up to Spokane to the Stampede.
Again, with the issues.
Yeah. And they told me if I pulled the diff out, that I'd void all the warranties.
Really?
So I was like, well, that's not right. So the Utah Bronco Club, one of the guys down there worked at a dealership. And so I contacted him and I was like, hey, who do I need to talk to? And kind of explained the whole story to him. And they're like, well, let me get this straight. You want to remove the differential and do half the work for us. And all we have to do is, put another one in. I'm like, yeah, that's basically it. They're like, yeah, absolutely. Take it out and just be careful with everything,
Cool.
So, but yeah, they were good that way.
Do you think Evan's differential just had blow by? Did you see his latest video with the spray on his tire?
Yeah, he called. They were talking to me the same time they were talking to you, Milton, and
yeah,
and I was looking up, googling everything, and trying to figure out what was.
Yeah,
and that's when I saw it, and I was like, the biggest thing I saw was overfilling. He just changed it not long ago, so I'm like, that's probably what it is. I saw like on some of the Toyota forums where guys with ARB air lockers were having some issues with the seal or something like that, but majority of the stuff I saw was just, hey, they just probably overfilled it. And, that's the first long trip they've had with it, since he did that. Everything else has just been like city driving for the most part. So
now Allie works for Ford, right?
She works in a dealership, yeah.
Yeah. Is Allie, have you experienced anything yet with customers calling in?
I don't know if she's still on.
See if she comments.
Yeah. She may not be. She's talk to her. And Laura, she was in the Chicago group. She has a dealership. She's the one that sold Dave and Kelly their Raptor.
Oh, okay.
Or hell, Tim, what's his name?
Bowen.
New Ford guy.
Yeah.
He might be a good person to chat to. But yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
They said that's not doing it anymore, so we're thinking that we're in the clear. We think it just because they were going so fast for so long, it just ended up slinging some up.
Well, I'm thinking maybe too some of the humidity, and just like vapor, coming out, and all that extra gear he's got on there with the tires and stuff. Laura at County Ford. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Laura, I know Laura pretty good. We were spending a lot of time together in the Chicago group. She was very active in it. But she could probably help you out and see, or just give you an insight on that. But I haven't heard anybody talking about it a whole lot other than the fact that they did the recall. I don't think anybody's had anything done yet, at least I know of.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't even inspect it. So they were like, oh, you got a seatbelt one we can do for you. I was like, it's fine.
Let me ask you guys this. When I first got my Bronco, my infotainment system worked flawlessly. And it always did until they started doing updates to it. And now the damn thing freezes up. Sometimes it'll just freeze up with the rear camera on the screen. Or sometimes you just see the bucking horse. It doesn't do it all the time, but it does it more frequently than I care for it to. But it never used to do that the first year I had it until they started doing all the updates is when they started doing it.
Ours did that maybe once or twice, but then
like
it stopped.
Ever, yeah.
And when it did it, it was like in the super, super cold. So I was like, maybe it's just, a little chilly. It needs to warm up. So,
well, mine's doing it. It did in Chicago some, but it also does it here in 110 degrees. So I don't know if the weather's a factor. But
well, you guys you have the fancy one. I have the underprivileged one. So I have no problems.
Well, y'all know how to reset it, right? You hit the volume button and the seek forward button, hold them down at the same time, and it reboots it. So if you ever had that,
I had to do it.
Yeah, well, if you ever have it do it and it stays frozen longer than like a few seconds, you do that and it'll reboot it. Because I've had mine where it froze and never would come back up. I had to two finger,
I had no idea.
Yeah, the 2-finger.
All right, this is
Better that way.
We'll keep it PG.
this is a family show.
Awesome.
Say that
Guys,
talk
it was-
to the B&B guys. Awesome. All right, well, guys, I'm about to hop off here. You guys good?
Yeah. It was
All
good
right,
seeing you guys, Derek, Monica.
So,
See ya.
Evan and Courtney couldn't be with us tonight. They're traveling across the country. I think they're either leaving Durango tonight or they're in Moab 1. I can't remember exactly where they're at. Evan and Courtney and I are meeting up on Sunday morning. We're going to hit the Rubicon Trail, and then after that, we'll head over to the Super Sun Nevada. So if you're going to be there, please say hi. Come say hi to us. Try to see if we can give you stickers or anything. Derek, Monica, y'all guys will be at SEMA, so I'm sure you'd want to have everybody come and say hi to you, the ones that come there. So
Yeah,
awesome. Please do. Be safe. Have fun on the Rubicon. All the goods.
If you see me crying, you'll know something's wrong.
Record it.
If you run into Ed, just take a little rubber snake with you.
Yeah.
Oh, I was telling Tom this, and he got laughing because I was telling Evan, whenever you all were going, I said, well, I asked you what time y'all were going to hit the trail. I told Evan, I was like, we need to make sure we get on the trail before they do. That way, if we break down, they can help us. I was like, I can tell you that now since you're not going.
Right.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with that. Work smarter. So,
all right, guys. Everybody, peace out.
See ya.
We'll be back in a couple weeks.
Bye.
All right. Well, I hate y'all can't. Well, see. Make sure.